Okay, tonight we're supposed to be discussing Yule, the holiday we're going to be celebrating this coming week. I do not have the itinerary that Christina was going to do, so I'm going to do something probably really different. We are going to talk about, I'm going to share something that's really quick with you, and then we'll discuss our traditions. Okay, so Yule, for us, starts on the sunset of the winter solstice around December 20th. Yuletide is the pre-Christian Germanic midwinter celebration. The name Yule is derived from the Old Norse Yule, meaning wheel, to identify the moment when the wheel of the year is at its lowest point, ready to rise again. Yule has been inherited by Germanic and Scandinavian languages from a pre-Indo-European language level, and is a direct reference to the return of the sun, represented as a fiery wheel rolling across the heavenly sky. Yule celebrations and traditions at the winter solstice predate Christianity by thousands of years. There are numerous references to Yule in the Icelandic sagas and in other ancient accounts testifying to how Yule was actually celebrated. It was a time for feasting, giving gifts, and dancing. The Yule holiday is the holiest and most popular of all the native Germanic spiritual celebrations, as Yule marks the return of the god Balder from the realm of hell and the loosening of winter's grip on the frozen earth. Does anybody remember what famous Yuletide what is it called? Plant is associated with Balder and why he's in hell?
Mistletoe.
Yes. Do you know why that's associated with Balder?
Because it's what was used to kill him. It was the one thing Frigga didn't get a promise from.
Yes. That's right. Right. Mistletoe is associated, like she said, with Balder because it was the only thing that Frigg did not get a promise from that would harm Balder, and Loki tricked Hoder into using it to kill him. The commencement of the Yuletide celebration has no set date, but is traditionally 12 days long, with the start of the festivities beginning at sunset on the winter solstice. In the northern hemisphere, that date usually falls on December 20th. This Germanic heathen holiday was forcibly stolen by early missionaries and became known as the 12 Days of Christmas. The first night of Yule is called the Mother Night, where Frigga and the Disir, does everybody know what the Disir are?
The female guardians.
Right, our female ancestors. They're female ancestral spirits. And they're especially honored on this night. Mother's Night is appropriately named because it represents the rebirth of the world from the darkness of winter. This is the date with the shortest day and the longest night of the year. A traditional vigil from dusk to dawn is held on the Mother's Night to make sure that the sun will rise again and welcome her when it does. Does anybody do anything specific on Mother's Night for this?
No, this will be my first time trying to celebrate it.
Okay. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. Yule is the season at which the gods and goddesses are closest to Midgard. Our deities were called Yule beings by the Norse, and Odin himself is called Yolnir, the Yule one, and is where the image of Santa Claus is actually derived from. Yule is also the season during which the dead return to Earth and share the feast of the living. Elves, trolls, and other magical beings roam freely at this time and must either be warded off or invited to come in friendship and peace. And if you were there for the Mythos class, you'll remember that we talked about the Yule troll. Yule is the time of year at which the wild hunt, which is Odin's host of the restless dead, rides most fiercely. It is dangerous to meet them, but gifts of food and drink are left out for them, for they can also bring blessings and fruitfulness. And this actually ties into him being known as Santa, because Santa originally comes from Odin, and on this time, this is the wild hunt. And when Odin does the wild hunt, he travels with the host, and children would leave their boots by the fire and leave offerings of carrots and hay for Sleipnir. And this is where the tradition of leaving stockings to be filled comes from, when it was Christianized, and it started turning into the other way with Santa leaving gifts for the kids. Let's see. I lost my place. Yule is a time for dancing, feasting, and family. Sun wheels are sometimes burnt as part of folk festivities at this time. It was the practice in Germanic heathen times to swear oaths on a hollowed boar, the totem animal of Freyr. This survived into Swedish folk custom. A large boar-shaped piece of bread or block of wood covered with pigskin was brought forth at Yule for this purpose through the beginning of the century, and boar cakes are used for Yule oaths by most heathens today. Especially meaningful oaths were also sworn on the horn or cup while drinking at the Yule feast. The New Year's resolution is a diminished form of the Holy Yule oath. The fir or pine tree, which is carried into the house and decorated, is an ancient Germanic custom brought to America by German immigrants. The tree on which holy gifts are hung was heathen in origin, representing Yggdrasil, the mighty cosmic tree of life. In Germany, those who kept the old custom hid it inside lest the church authorities notice. That's why they would bring the trees in. But in England and Scandinavia, the trees and various spirits received their gifts outside. In those latter countries, it was a candlelit and ribbon-bedecked wreath, the ring of which may have reflected the holy oath ring or the Yule sun wheel that was traditionally brought in to decorate the home. That's why people have wreaths now. They don't realize it's actually a pagan symbol. The Yule log is also an old heathen custom. This log was supposed to burn all night during the longest night of the year to symbolize life lasting even in the time of greatest darkness. Its fire rekindling the sun in the morning. Its ashes or pieces were used as protective amulets during the rest of the year. Those who lack large fireplaces often use 24-hour candles instead. The 12 days of Yule is largely devoted to baking cakes, cookies, and breads, and making the unique decorations which beautify heathen homes at the holiday season. There are, for example, intricate paper cutouts to make and put on the walls, like festoons, stars, wind toys, and straw animals in the shapes of goats and wild boars to hang on the Yule trees. The straw animals, which are still widely found throughout Sweden, are intimately related to ancient Norse Germanic mythology, originating in legends of the sacred animals of the gods, the goats of Thor, the thunder god, and the wild boar of Freyr, who's the god of fertility. The majority of the symbols associated with the modern holiday of Christmas, such as the Yule log, Santa Claus and his elves, Christmas trees, the wreath, eating ham, holly, mistletoe, and the star, are derived from traditional Northern European heathen Yule celebrations. When the first Christian missionaries began forcibly converting the Germanic people to Christianity, they found it easier to simply provide a Christian reinterpretation for popular feasts such as Yule and allow the celebrations themselves to go on largely unchanged, rather than trying to suppress them, much like Halloween and Easter are assimilated. So we're going to go around and we'll go ahead and discuss, first off, does anybody, because of what we talked about or because of what you already knew about it, remember some traditions that you grew up doing that you didn't realize were pagan?
All of them, pretty
Besides,
much.
okay, like
Oh.
what, for example, besides the tree?
Yeah.
What was that?
I didn't know that about all of them pretty much growing up, but later on it was pretty quick to pick up.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you do now for Yule?
Honestly, we used to celebrate Yule and Christmas just because of various family, etc. But we haven't decided what we're doing this year because it's our turn to do it our way. So we'll get back to you. First one, no kids, no parents, no nothing.
Okay. Okay. Trevor, what did you used to do as a kid that you didn't realize was pagan?
I honestly don't really have a clue.
Okay, and what do you do now for Yule?
My first time really celebrating it, so
Okay. Was anything discussed tonight that you want to try?
not that I can think of.
No? Okay. Jordan, what was stuff that you did as a kid that you didn't realize was pagan?
Mostly the tree.
Okay. And anything you're going to be doing this year?
Nah, I don't really think so. 'Cause we didn't do much decorating this year because the cats like to destroy everything.
Okay. So you're succumbing to your masters. Okay, understood. Anything we discussed that you want to do or try?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Amy, anything that you are realizing you did as a kid that you didn't know was pagan?
The stockings.
Okay.
Yeah, I found out that a long time ago in Old Norse cultures, Iceland specifically, from my Icelandic friends, they used to leave their children would leave their boots out and stuff with hay and stuff for Odin's horse and the other riders to get gifts and all that.
Okay. And anything, are you going to be doing anything this year, or is there anything that we talked about you want to try?
If I go to Joe's, we're supposed to be doing bloats and symbols and stuff. If not, I still plan on doing a bloat and an offering.
Okay. So nobody's going to be trying to do the wreath or burning it at the end of the holiday or anything like that?
I'm not allowed to burn anything in town.
Okay. Okay. So it seems like nobody's really going to be doing anything. Nobody really decorated.
No, just not the year for it.
It's been a hard year for people.
It is 2016. I will chalk it up to that.
Yes.
And Jordan at Overlords. And there's not really else to discuss about the Yule. So I think that might be it, unless anybody has anything that they want to add. Trevor, you're making it harder.
I wish I could remember the lyrics to a song I invented. I wrote in the shower about the 12 days of the Morrigan once. It was pretty fun. Yeah, I remember on the first day of Yule, the Morrigan gave to me, the head of my worst enemy was first one, but I don't remember past that.
You need the words to that when you remember it later.
Like that one.
Oh, yeah.
I was chanting that before ritual one night.
Okay, well, you can stop recording, Jordan.